We should be live now. Unfortunately for you guys, as you can tell, yesterday did a number on my voice. Go Blue. I mean, I have jersey, beloved jersey beside me, baby. In a 7-5 lost year, no college football playoff, no top 25 ranking. We go into fucking Ohio State's house as 3 touchdown underdogs and win the game. So you can imagine why my voice is the way it is today. But all jokes aside, I got a job to do. I got to get through you guys' questions and got to give you guys the best advice that I can. So yeah, Spicy, my voice is cooked right now. I went to go record those 2 pick'em shorts. My voice was not complying, unfortunately. Yeah, and don't worry, I will be making myself a nice little cup of tea after this. But hey, Corey's moving today. I have to handle this for you guys. You guys have questions? I'm trying to help. So, by the way, if you are around Spicy, I'll send you the link in the back. But yeah, let me get through these site questions here, and then we'll go to the YouTube comments. Yeah, maybe a pot of tea. Yeah. If you guys are unfamiliar with the type of fan I am, like I am the most passionate fan you'll have. When Khalil Mullings on that 3rd and 6 broke, I believe it was Tyleek Williams, broke his tackle in the backfield, ripped off that 26-yard run. I don't even know how to describe that feeling that I had when I knew that we were about to win for the 4th straight fucking year in a row. Different. Yeah. So appreciate you guys for the level of concern here. We do have a couple comments, like I said, on the site. This team question, of course, I will get off. I'll get to on or off of stream. Sorry, but let me see here. So that one. Okay, perfect. So the first one here from Slush Monkey, just setting his lineup. It looks like he just needs to make a quarterback decision. Bo Nix versus Baker Mayfield. Now, if I look at my rankings right now, I believe these guys are actually back to back, but let me just open it up and give you guys the legitimate answer here. Hey, Mark, appreciate you for tuning in from Germany. Hopefully you can get through the voice here because it sounds bad in my own ears. So I can imagine for you guys. Unfortunate. My apologies. I have Bo Nix at 8 and Baker Mayfield at 9. So we will be going with Bo Nix here, but that is a very close decision. Let's just take a look here. Obviously, you're going Breece Hall. You're going with Ramondre Stevenson. Looks like his wide receivers are already set as well. I will say now, what is the timing for the let me take a look here. What is the timing for the Eagles game versus the Arizona game? Let me just see. Are they both at 4 o'clock? Because if they are both at 4 o'clock, I think I would actually go Smith over Marvin Harrison this week. So let me take a look. Marvin Harrison Jr., 1 o'clock game, right? So you can't really make that choice. So that is how I would set your lineup there. Good luck, Slush Monkey. Good luck, Slush Monkey. Oh, sorry. My voice is cooked. Redraft 1 quarterback, 12 team start, 7 PPR league. It looks like you're just considering your wide receivers and your flexes, picking between 2 of these guys here. So for me, this is just going to be Justin Jefferson, and this is going to be Cooper Kupp. Now, crazy decision. This team is loaded. And to be honest, I'm looking through here. I would also go with Aaron Jones over Jonathan Taylor this week. And yeah, you got looks good otherwise. So that is how I would set your lineup there. Give more. So we got Josh Allen, Kyron Williams, Aaron Jones. We got the top 2 wide receivers here with Nico Collins and Justin Jefferson. You got Hawkinson, of course. You got Cooper Kupp. So appreciate you. And we also got one from Tom. Appreciate you for the support. He says playing against Bowers and HN this week, so we need some upside. Love the Flock League, by the way. Yeah, appreciate that. You guys are going to hear the full behind the scenes in the Flock League. Like, you'll see a clip of me celebrating when Michigan won. You'll see a clip of me saying I already expect my voice to go. And sure enough, we're on live stream, and now my voice is completely cooked. It's going to be a lot of fun. I will just say we need to take down our rival, Badaki, like Michigan took their rival to Ohio State down last night. So let's go. Or last night, you know what I mean? Last noon. We will be going with Josh Allen here, a quarterback. It is a closer call, obviously, now with the weather that's expected in that Buffalo Sunday Night Football game. But we know Josh Allen, even in the cold element games, he's going to be handling the rock. He's going to have touchdown equity once they're inside the 5. I think he's still got to go with Josh Allen, especially with the Washington offense kind of looking a little inconsistent, a little volatile as of late. So we got Barkley, we got Kyron, we got Chase, we got Tyreek, we got Trey McBride, Cooper Kupp. In terms of the flex, you said you're considering Rachaad White versus these options. For me, I actually do have Calvin Ridley the highest. This is a start 8 PPR league, a team. I like Calvin Ridley the highest here in a PPR setting. So that will be my answer. Also, appreciate you for the $14 super chat here. I will actually, if you are on the site here, I can send you a voucher as well. Let me see. Are you on the site? Do you have a site account here? Let me know if you have a site account because I would love to get you a free voucher there, Tom. Love to get you a free voucher, but I'll do a quick refresh, see if there's any comments. No more comments on the site for now. So we will be going back to the YouTube comments, and hopefully we can get through a ton of you guys for you guys today. For those of you wondering, I will be planning to end the live around 12:50 because I do need to set my lineups, but I'll try to get to as many questions beforehand, right? We got Rolando first in here at 11:35. Appreciate you for tuning in as soon as possible. Only play 2, Ramondre versus the Colts, Marvin Harrison versus the Vikings, BTJ versus the Texans, and Trey McBride versus the Vikings. Full PPR, thank you. For me, in this question, I would personally go with Brian Thomas Jr. and Trey McBride here, Rolando, so appreciate you. 2 different league start sits, half PPR start sit, Knicks versus Kyler, full PPR start sit, BTJ versus B-Rob. So for the first comment, these guys are also very close in my quarterback rankings. If I take a look here, quarterback, Kyler Murray at 7 and Bo Nix at 8. So I would go with Kyler Murray there, Trident. And in terms of the other comment, give me BTJ and a full PPR with Trevor Lawrence back. Do I trust Brees today or hope for BTJ with Trevor Lawrence likely coming back? Full PPR. Very close call for me. I would lean Brees because it does sound like he is off the injury report. He's ready to go today. But at the same time, this is my RB11 versus my wide receiver 14 this week. So if you're a little bit concerned of the injury report and you wanted to go with the upside of BTJ, I don't blame you, but I would go with Brees Hall here. Consolidated offensive situation. We know only 3 players are going to get touches in that offense, and Brees Hall is coming off a 30-plus point week before the bye week. Mayor Purdy, I would go with Drake May. I mean, I'm very concerned both with the elements as well as the shoulder for Brock Purdy. Apparently he's playing today, but he's not fully 100%, so that's definitely something to monitor. I believe he's my quarterback 21 this week, whereas May I have closer to the where do I have May? I have May closer to like the mid-range. Let me see here. Week 13 quarterback. I have Drake May at 13 this week for me. Jawan Jennings or Khalil Shakir, also Chase Brown or Brian Robinson. For me here, I would go with Khalil Shakir and I would go with Chase Brown. I did have Jawan Jennings higher than Shakir in yesterday's video. However, we have heard since that video came out that Brock Purdy will not be 100%. So I do think from a tiebreaker perspective, we know Josh Allen's healthy. We don't know what Brock Purdy's health situation is. So I ended up moving Jawan Jennings down, I believe, to the early 40s. Let me just take a look here. I will also refresh on the back end of the site, see if there's any more comments, and then we'll go back to the YouTube chat if not. So looks like no more comments on the site. We'll quickly get back to the YouTube chat. Etienne, Andrews, Vidal, or David Moore at the flex. For me, I would go Travis Etienne, but it would be a close call between him and Mark Andrews for me. But I would probably lean Etienne there. That's close. At Vidal or Braylon Allen. Give me Braylon Allen. Although there are reports that Brees Hall is fully healthy, there is still the risk he goes out there, re-injures his knee again. Knock on wood. Hopefully that doesn't happen, of course, because I have Brees Hall in multiple spots. But because we have already heard an evidence report of the injury versus, although we know J.K. Dobbins will be placed on IR, there still figures to be a 3-man committee there. You got obviously Gus Edwards there. You got Hassan Haskins, who worked above Vidal last week. So for me, I would go with Braylon Allen. I think he's got a closer path to playing time. Jameis or Bryce Young, Judy or Hunter Henry, full PPR. It's must win. Thank you. So I would go here. Who do I have higher between Jameis and Bryce Young? Are there any other options you got there? Neither of those quarterbacks are in my top 25, but maybe this is a dynasty league. Regardless, though, I think I would lean Bryce Young, and I think I would lean Jerry Judy there, but that's close. I mean, I guess if you're making the Judy call, you may as well double down with Jameis. That's a close call, man. That's a close call. Honestly, yeah, just give me the stack with Jameis and Judy because all of these 4 options aren't the greatest. So, yeah. Marv or B-Rob Jr. today. Give me Marvin Harrison this week, Hussein. Morning, boys. Morning, Hussein. Oh, man. I just joined. This is going to be for the ages. Yeah, this is, my voice is cooked right now. Yeah, everybody's recognizing that. Yeah, no, I had a ton of fun, man. Honestly, anytime we beat Ohio State, like it brings out the kid in me. I can't lie. Like I was looking, let me see if I can find it. Was it in the sleeper? It might have been in the sleeper chat. I want to say I posted this, but let me take a look. Was it Debbie Degeneracy? Maybe. I thought it was Debbie Degeneracy. Yeah, it was. Okay. For those of you that are curious what 12 years looks like, this is what 12 years looks like. So this was 12 years ago. This was actually right before the Michigan State-Michigan game, 13-12 walk-off field goal. This is back in the Shoelace Robinson era. So big shout out 2012. The kid was an avid shoelace enjoyer, like you see in the chat. Was able to actually go to the big house, big time memories there. And then, of course, was able to take down the Ohio State pack, as you guys can see here. So 12 years of difference within those 3 photos. Gotta love it. Christ, my voice is so cooked. Garrett Wilson or Taysom Hill in full PPR on the flex. Give me Garrett Wilson, Brian. Give me Garrett Wilson. By the way, for those of you that were looking forward to the shorts this morning, I do apologize. I tried to record them. I had all the notes ready. I was ready to record literally at 9:30 a.m. to pop them out on YouTube for you guys. I went to go record the first 10 seconds of the first short and realized that this voice just simply was not going to be able to get the job done. It's a difference when we're on a live stream and I'm talking and it's more of a story based, but to actually put like a short out on YouTube with me not being able to speak straight, I just don't think you guys would have gotten much value out of that. So greetings from Journey again. Appreciate you, Mark. Y'all telling me to start Rico and the flex was a great pick. Got you, bro. I got you. People hate on Rico Dowdle so much, man. He's actually been very efficient. So big shout out. Burrow or Knicks, I would go with Joe Burrow there, Eric. Jacksonville's players, are they safe? With Trevor Lawrence back, we're trusting him. I moved Evan Ingram into my top 10, and I moved Brian Thomas Jr. into my top 15 at wide receiver. Bo Nix, Anthony Richardson, or Geno Smith. Give me Bo Nix, Mark. Need to fill 2 positions. Options are Brian Robinson, Marvin Harrison, and Brian Thomas. I would go with Marvin and I would go with Brian Thomas. We do see a report today that Jonathan Gannon wants to get Marvin Harrison more involved. So we'll see if that comes to fruition on today's slate. Taysom Hill or TJ Hawkinson. I believe they are actually back to back for me. I have TJ Hawkinson at 5 and I have Taysom at 6. So give me TJ. AD or AP with downs out. I would go with AD Mitchell, but it's really tough to say. It depends on the three wide receiver sets that they run. Again, I would lean Mitchell with downs out because I think I just trust the talent profile there. But at the same time, AP is probably the safer play because he's guaranteed to get snaps. Pittman or Flowers full PPR. Give me Flowers all day here, Willie. Give me Flowers. BTJ or Marvin Harrison. Give me BTJ there, Nate. I do like the reports for Marvin, but with that being said, with Trevor Lawrence healthy, I really expect Brian Thomas. I mean, this was a guy in the first 8 to 9 weeks of his rookie season was averaging nearly 16 PPR points per game. So Ramondre, Debo, or Hawkinson. Give me Hawkinson here. He's my 5th overall tight end. Stroud or Knicks. Stroud or Knicks. I have Knicks higher here, Paul. Jennings or Tank Dell. I would go with Tank Dell here. By the way, shout out Matt. Shout out Nat. Matt Geisfield, is that not Monoghost or am I tripping? That's Monoghost on Twitter, right? I'm not trolling, am I? Let me know. Purdy or Russ. Oh, they are close for me. I have Purdy at 22, Russ at 24. So I would go Purdy, but are there any other options you have this week? Because I don't want to trust either of them, to be honest. Disley or Kittle with weather and effect. I would still go Kittle. He's the type of player, yards after catch ability, cold weather type of game where he can pop off underneath and take one to the house, to be honest. He's one of the few tight ends that I just trust in that regard. Whereas also with Disley, I mean, as much as I like him, as much as I love the game environment he's in, he is a little bit of a risk. He's coming off of that groin injury on the injury report this week. So for me, again, you just got to trust your superstars. I understand the elements are tough, but George Kittle is George Kittle for me. Purdy or AR5, give me AR5 this week, Beecham. 4-point passing touchdown, Purdy or AR5. Funny that they're actually back to back, but I would also go with AR5 here. 10 full PPR, Devontae, Pollard, Ridley, Sutton, Evans. I need 2 receivers in a flex. Thank you. Okay, so we're going with Ridley and Sutton for sure at wide receiver. Oh, there's Evans here too. Ridley, Sutton, and Evans all day, every day. Appreciate that. Gus Edwards or Amari Cooper in the flex. Give me Gus Edwards here. The weather is also a factor there for Amari. Bucky or Aaron Jones, full PPR. Give me Bucky Irving. That was actually going to be one of my picks on the pick'em. So I'll talk about those picks later on in the live stream. But Bucky Irving against Carolina this week, we know he's going to be efficient. 25 carries, 161 yards in his last 2 games. And Carolina is the easiest matchup for running backs this year. Burrow or Baker. Give me Burrow here, David. Start Marv with Kyler this week or play A-Rich in case Cardinals stack flops. Need wins this week. So I would go with Kyler over A-Rich if that's the question. Although I'm kind of confused. Is this a super flex? Is it between Marv and A-Rich or is it between Kyler and A-Rich? If it's between Kyler and A-Rich, I would go with Kyler. Taysom Hill or Trey McBride, 10-team standard. I think Trey McBride's one of the few tight ends that no matter the matchup, you know he's going to be able to produce. So give me Trey McBride here. Give me Trey McBride. I mean, speaking of drinking something, I may as well get some electrolytes into the throat. Judy or Tank Dell. Thanks. Give me Tank Dell here. Kyler A-Rich, 6 point. I am starting McBride too. Yeah, give me Kyler there, Pionio. Marver Ladd. Give me Ladd McConkey there. Give me Ladd. Garrett Wilson or Flowers, full PPR. Thanks for all your help. Anytime, give me Garrett Wilson. Also, I will do refresh the site to see if there's any comments in. Does not look like it. I will also check my phone in case any emails came in. Does not look like it, I believe. So we should be good here to go in terms of site questions. By the way, if you guys are curious how to skip the line, flockfantasy.com. I'll actually get the link in here. Just give me one moment. Obviously, when there's both of us on the live stream, it's easier for one of us to go and grab a link. So I'm just going to have to talk through this so you guys aren't, you know what I mean? Let me see here. All right, Flock League. Yep, here you go. So let me grab this link. It is in the description of all of our videos. But for those of you that are curious on how to skip the line, this is the link that you will be following. So I'll pin it in chat. All right. We'll do that. I will start it and I will pin this in chat here. Let me go back here. Which comment did we leave off of? Okay. I would go with Garrett Wilson here, by the way, Ryan. I would go with Garrett Wilson. Thoughts on Carolina this week? Any fantasy relevant players? In terms of the Carolina offense, I think the main pieces, of course, I mean, Chuba Hubbard is obviously going to be the most alluring piece with how he's been playing, the workhorse role that he has. Then I would say Xavier Legette would be my next best bet. Does suck for Jatavian Sanders, obviously suffering that neck injury because prior to that, he really looked like he was breaking out. But for me, the big 2 pieces would be Legette and would be Chuba Hubbard. And let me go to the live stream and make sure that is pinned for you guys as well. So, here, sorry, let me mute myself. Pin. All right, perfect. That should be pinned in chat for those of you that are curious. Marv or McConkey, half PPR. Give me Marvin Harrison Jr. Give me La McConkey even still. I don't know why I said Marv. Why am I thinking Dynasty brain? That is very clearly McConkey in that game environment for me. PPR league, Marvin Harrison Jr. or Devontae Smith. I would go with Devontae Smith against the Ravens. Pass funnel defense, high over under. We love the implied total for Philadelphia this week. Thanks for hammering through these anytime, bro. Anytime. I mean, my voice is cooked, but doesn't mean that I can't get you guys the content you need. You know, you guys have questions. You guys indeed have questions. Ramondre or McBride. Ramondre or McBride. Oh, McBride. That's it. Dude. I know you guys by name, and sometimes trying to fit the profile back to the name gets me. I know Shady Sands. I know Matt Geisfield. I couldn't fucking link them together. But thank you. Because I know Mono Ghost is also named Matt, if I recall, too. I mean, just appreciate you guys for being as consistent in the chat as you are, because if you guys are wondering, we do recognize similar names depending on how often you guys are in. Like, we got Pionio in here, we got Lennox, we got all the boys in here right now too. So I appreciate all of you guys. Drake / Garrett Wilson or Connor. If this is 2 out of 3, I would go with the 2 wide receivers. If you can only pick one, I would go with, I believe I have Drake London 2 spots higher. So I would go Drake. Knicks or Russell Wilson. Give me Knicks there, Mark. Thoughts on Jaylen Warren? Very efficient, obviously behind Najee, so he's not going to get the overall volume of touches, but he's one of the few guys like in the early 30s that I think has a ton of upside. And if Najee were to get banged up at all, we know he'd have a very solid, RB2 level ceiling. So I like Jaylen Warren, especially in PPR leagues. McConkey or BTJ, I would go BTJ slightly, but that's like 14 versus 17 for me this week. That's very close. Yeah. Shout out Batman. Yeah, I am indeed Batman. I am indeed Batman, sadly. I'm Batman. All right. I had to try that one. Sorry. Other options on waivers other than Purdy and Russ are Carr, Rodgers, Levis, and T-Law. Give me T-Law all day here. I love T-Law this week. It sounds like he's ready to go. Potential shootout game environment. You don't have to deal with the weather. So I would go with Trevor Lawrence. Although Levis is also going to be a sneaky option too. Bucky Irving or Breece Hall. My team name is Cool Breece. That's a close call. I think Bucky's got a great matchup. I would love to get both of them into my lineup, but I would go with Breece Hall. I think you got to start your stud in the spot. Appreciate you pushing through anytime, Pete. Anytime. Got to give you guys what you need. Debo or Tank Dell. I would go with Tank Dell here, Slim. I would go with Tank Dell. PPR flex. Hawk, Auden, or Adams. I would go with Hawkinson here, Award. Purdy or AR-15. That's the most common I think I've seen. I would go with AR-15. Full PPR, Bucky's number 1 matchup with Breece. Yeah, okay, you already asked that. Make sure you only ask once, but I would still go with Breece Hall here, although I would love to get both into my lineup. But again, it's already hard for me to track the comments. Make sure you're only commenting once because handling it solo and handling it with a bad voice is not going to cut it if I also have to shift through multiple repeat comments. So please help me. What's good, bro? What's good, Lennox? I think Devontae is unlikely to play. Is that officially the word now? Because when I was looking at the reports from Jesse Morse, it sounded like he was likely in. But if he's now, let me go to Underdog. I'll pull up a couple things in inactives and kind of see what's going on here. So let me search up Devontae Smith as well to kind of see what's going on with Devontae Smith. Listed as questionable, may work out to see if he can go. There's not a lot of optimism. Okay, so that report came out at 11 p.m. So that's when I would have been editing the video. So that makes sense. Okay, so monitor the status for Devontae Smith then, straight up. Thank you for catching up on that. But in terms of the overall inactives, I will also share that screen for you guys. So those of you that are curious, we do see here, for example, Demario Douglas is active for week 13. Breece Hall active. Alec Pierce active this week. Trevor Lawrence active. We do see here, like I was saying with Brock Purdy, right shoulder will play, isn't 100% healthy. Tajay Spears will play. We're hearing some, college reports, for example, Marcus Freeman may be taking the Bears job. And then this is the report I was referencing with Gannon. We want to get him going today. The passing game will go through him. So it does seem very optimistic for his regard. Aside from that, we're looking down. Hollywood Brown might come back soon. Cedric Tillman's out. Nothing really surprising out now. Austin Eckler placed on IR. Obviously, for those of you that are in Dynasty Leagues, have Trey Benson. You obviously saw that James Conner bomb yesterday. But, aside from that, pretty bog standard. And I'll keep refreshing to see if anything else comes up. So we will go back to we'll go back here. Let me just refresh on the site to see if any of you guys came on. Nope. Okay. I think Devontae Smith is unlikely to play. Yep. Voice won't forgive you for that game yesterday. Hell, if I have to blow my voice for another Michigan win, I will do it every single time. I'll tell you that for free. Like 4 in a row, nothing feels better. It makes up for the voice, to be honest. If my voice was like this and we lost, though, I'd probably be in a different mood right now. Last year, hopefully win your matchup in the Flock League. Yeah, very close matchup. If you guys have been following along in the Flock League, do face my rival Badaki this week. Michigan's rival, Ohio State, they were able to take them down yesterday. Hopefully I'm able to do that with my rival in the Flock League. But it's looking tough, man. We're both projected for a high score right now. Very close shootout game environment for both of us. It's going to be fascinating. I really do think either of us can come down with this matchup. Knicks or Kyler, I would go Kyler Murray by 1 spot for me this week Yeah, Soto, Jared. AJ Brown or Puka Nakua. I have AJ Brown at 2 and Puka at 4. Can you get both these guys in your lineup? Is my question. Like, I would start them over any wide receiver in fantasy, not named Nico Collins. I would start AJ Brown as my number 2, and then I would start Jamar Chase over Puka Nakua. But those are my top 4 receivers. Like, I would start him over Justin Jefferson. I would start him over Cooper Kupp. I would start him over Drake London. I would start him over Garrett Wilson. So I would love to get both those guys in my lineup. Yeah, what's up, Toronto? Dave, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Start 2 full PPR, Flowers, Connor, Pollard. Thank you, man. Connor has the toughest matchup of this group going up against Minnesota. It would be close for me. I would go with Flowers and Pollard, but Pollard and Connor are very close for me. Oh, we are fighting. We are fighting. Kittle or McBride, a half PPR, no tight end premium. I mean, at this point, if you want to have the weather make the decision for you, I don't mind that. I have Kittle. I had Kittle locked in at number 1 because Kelsey and Bowers obviously played. But now that I think about it, I think I would actually make that adjustment. So I'm going to swap those guys, and I would play McBride over Kittle this week. McBride over Kittle. JSN, Chase, Connor, pick 2. You're sitting Connor out of these 3, I would say, Jared. Yeah, I am the Batman, you know. Fuck. Higgins with the down matchup or Dell with the plus matchup. I would still go with Higgins. He's averaging 18.5 points per game when healthy this year. He is expected to face shadow coverage, but I just can't sit him. I downgraded him a little bit. He's like a fringe top 20 guy, but I still think you have to start him over Tank Dell. You seem like the classic Italian from Vaughn. It's funny enough. I have a ton of cousins in like Vaughn, like the Markham area, you know, like Oakville, like all around that area. I'm actually right around Hamilton. So that's where I'm located right now. But you're not wrong, though. You're not wrong. Brees or Chase Brown, full PPR. Thanks. I would go Chase Brown this week. You have a safe offensive projection, run funnel Steelers defense, like I mentioned with Joey Porter on T. Higgins, touchdown equity, high implied offensive total, and Chase Brown's been a complete workhorse. So I do love my boy Brees Hall, but I would go with Chase Brown this week. Jacoby Myers has been elite with no Adams, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. I had him at 30 this week. You can make the argument that he should be like in the top 25 area. Like the live stream for Danny pushing through. Yeah, I appreciate you. 191 in here. I want to see at least, can we get this to at least 75 likes? Like that, I don't think that's too much to ask. You guys are obviously supporting. I'm fighting through. Maybe it's not the most enjoyable voice aesthetic that you're hearing right now, but try my best. So if you guys are getting value, I maybe answered one of your comments, make sure you leave a like down below. Helps us a ton. Pick 2, MHJ, Bucky, and Pickens, full PPR. I would be sitting Marvin Harrison Jr. this week, fam. Start Moody or pick up another kicker. Probably pick up another kicker. You don't really want to deal with those elements, I would say there, Jake. Pollard or B-Rob, full PPR, thanks. I would go with Pollard slightly there. Chase Brown, not Jamar. Where the comment? Oh, Chase Brown. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Yeah, I would still go with JSN and Chase Brown. Yeah, my apologies. AR versus Kyler, Otton versus Njoku. I would go with Kyler, and I would go with David Njoku here, Tony. Start 2 of Brees, Chase Brown, or Bucky Irving. Very close. I would go with Brees and Chase, but I have Bucky at 13 this week. So if you are worried about the Brees injury, they're close enough where I wouldn't mind going Bucky, but I do have Brees, I believe, 2 spots higher. So I'm more optimistic, of course, on Brees Hall. Rip Brooks and Benson, yeah, big time extensions for both of their incumbent starters in front of them. Not looking great if you invested a first round dynasty rookie pick into them. Higgins or Wilson, give me Wilson this week, CB. PPR floor / medium play, Tank Dell or Rashad White, give me. If you need the floor play, I would go with Rashad White against Carolina because he still has goal line equity in that Bucs offense, and they do have the easiest run matchup this week. But that's close. That's close. Because you said floor and median, they'll give me Rashad. Purdy or Lawrence, give me Trevor Lawrence this week. Purdy obviously banged up and facing the weather elements. Lawrence banged up himself, but we're getting more glowing reports from his shoulder. Flex Mike Evans or Kyron Williams. PPR is a big time piece here. I would go with Mike Evans. I think he can scorch earth without Godwin on the field. 6 games left in the year, about 600 yards. He needs to get 1,000, and we know Tampa Bay is going to do everything in their power to try to get him there. Devontae or Shakir. Give me Devontae Adams here, James. What up, CMC or Ken Walker? Also get spicy and start Taysom Hill over McBride. I would go with CMC over Walker. And as much as I like Taysom this week, he's my number 6. I don't think you can sit McBride, to be honest. So I would go with McBride. You already asked this again. Please try to get the comments one time. You demand, appreciate you. Maybe I know it's an accident. Just it's hard for me to sort through when I'm on my own here. Kyler or Darnold, give me Kyler here, a quick one. I don't know if I said that right, but that was funny to say. Got you, big dog. Like and subscribed. Appreciate you, Jonathan. Appreciate you. Herbert or Allen and shoveled snow, 4-point passing touchdown. I love Herbert this week, but I think you got to go with Allen. Even in the elements, they're still implied for a big team total. And we know he's got the opportunity with that size, with that usage inside the 5, inside the 10 to punch in a touchdown or two from a rushing perspective. So I would still lean Allen, but Herbert, man, Herbert's a must-start quarterback at this point if you don't have a guy like Allen. Tank Dell, Cooper Kupp, Tank Dell, Amari Cooper, or Rashad White in the flex. Scoring would help me a ton here. I would say full PPR, if you need a ceiling, go with Tank Dell. Half PPR, if you need a floor, I would go with Rashad White here. Justin, full PPR, Javonte, Disley, or Henry. It's very close between Disley and Henry. I would lean Henry because Disley's coming in banged up, but they're 10 and 11 at tight end for me, and I would start both over Javonte. B-Rob or BTJ flex, half PPR. Give me BTJ there. You demand, appreciate you. Yeah, hopefully I'm able to win in the flock. League. But Ridley or Rashad White, full PPR, and full PPR, I would go with Ridley here, Daniel. MHA or Bucky PPR. Give me Bucky Irving against Carolina this week. Mooney or Vela, give me Darnell Mooney in that smash game environment. I expect the Chargers and Falcons game to really shoot out, so I think Mooney has a chance to score a long touchdown. Unfortunate, because of course Badaki has him. Higgins or KW3. I would go with Higgins here. Scoring format would actually really matter. If it's a half or standard league, I would go with KW. If this is a full PPR, I would go with Higgins. So let me know. Or just take that advice, to be honest, because it applies either way. Rashad or McBride PPR. Give me McBride here, Bobby. Garrett Wilson or Drake London. Give me Drake London slightly. I believe I had him 2 spots higher. Gus or Najee. They're like back-to-back for me. I have Najee at 27 and Gus at 28. So give me Najee by a hair. Praying for that flock win and Mason loses. Let's go. Let's hope so. And Njoku. Here, sorry. I need this. Njoku or Nick Westbrook Akine as a flex. Give me David Njoku here. PPR start 2 running backs, 1 wide receiver, 1 flex. JT, Brees, Bucky, London, Sutton, Marvin projected to win by 20. Need some safe plays. If you need some safe plays, again, I know he's not a safe play, but you still got to go with Brees Hall, man. Like, he's just too much of a good projection for me. I would go with Brees Hall. I'd go with Bucky Irving. Yes, I do have Bucky Irving ranked higher than JT because of the matchup. Wide receiver, I would go with Drake London. And that flex, if you need a safe play, Marv has got the most risk. So I would say probably for safety, I would go with JT because of his touches. Bucky, Cook, Flowers, Higgins, 1 running back, 1 flex standard. Bucky for sure is getting in there. And in a standard league, I'm just going to go with Bucky and Cook because you want the running backs for their touchdown upside here. Appreciate you and rooting for you in the flock league. And Nico and Brees, we trust. Man. Appreciate you. Just Rashad or Gus PPR. I would go with Rashad White. Thank you. Hope you feel better. Appreciate that, AJ. Go off, Queen. Yes, sir. We've been ripping through comments, so appreciate you guys for supporting. But yeah, 12:24, so about 36 minutes from the kickoff. And like I said, I'll be going for about until 12:50, just so I can set my own lineups, as you guys can imagine. But yeah. I mean, I just got to talk about it, right? Like, obviously, when comments come in, I'll address it. Like, for example, BTJ or Connor, I would go with BTJ here. Just I appreciate you for the comment. I'm still in disbelief over what I watched yesterday. Like, that might be one of the most crazy upsets I have ever seen in college football. No ifs, ands, or buts. Like, We could talk about, Michigan owns Ohio State, which at this point I think has been proven. We can talk about the mentality, the locker room, the culture that Michigan has versus the lack thereof that Ryan Day is instilling in Ohio State. We can talk about all that. But at the same time, I mean, when you have that much of a pure talent advantage like people want to be talking about, you have Michigan starting a walk-on quarterback that threw for 61 yards and 2 touchdowns, and you're the number 2 ranked team at home. There's no excuses for you to lose that game, straight up. Like, I'm a Michigan fan, and I can only imagine from Ohio, like if the roles were flipped and Michigan was number 2 in the Big House and lost in that fashion to a bad Ohio State team, I couldn't imagine what my headspace would be at. So crazy circumstances. That's why, as much as I love the NFL, as much as I love football in general, I mean, you can't replicate these college rivalries. You really can't. I have Bowers and McBride in Dynasty. Who do I sell? Straight up, man. I don't think I would sell Bowers for much at this point, man. He's just a cut above. And as much as I love McBride, obviously value will matter on your own current market, on your own league market. Sorry, but I mean Bowers, he already looks like a Hall of Famer. Like, he looks like he's Travis Kelce already, and he's a rookie. So, yeah. Pick one PPR: Scary Terry, B-Rob, Pittman, and Pitts. Scary Terry. I would go with, I think I would go Terry McLaurin here. That's pretty close, especially in a PPR. I'd go with McLaurin. Curtis Samuel, McNichols, Hurts, or Stroud, 6-point PPR, or 6-point passing touchdown. I would go with McNichols, and I would go with Hurts here. Hurts is my quarterback 1 this week. If y'all haven't seen the Flock League Fantasy vlog of the season, you should. It's a good watch. Appreciate that. Yeah, if you guys have not already watched the Flock League, I mean, one of the most entertaining parts of my week is just hopping on, recording some clips for you guys. So that is a ton of fun to do. Pick one: T-Law, Bryson, Purdy. Appreciate you, Danny. Yeah, give me T-Law here, Daniel. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, brother. Taysom or Kincaid rest of the season, PPR. I'm going Taysom Hill. Dalton Kincaid, I don't know what to make of you. You're already mid tight end 2 when you were healthy. Now you're not healthy. And Taysom Hill has shown he has legitimate 30-plus, 40-plus point spike week potential. Taysom Hill, let me check this stat to see if this is actually a stat, because if it is, I would fucking laugh. So let me see Kincaid. All right. And let me see Taysom Hill. All right. So, right. Taysom Hill in 7 games has 13 more PPR points than Dalton Kincaid has in 10 games. So I don't think it should be controversial to say you would take Taysom Hill over him at this point. I really don't. Baker or Burrow? Give me Burrow this week, Nuke. Guys, who should I trade in my flex, or who should I start in my flex? Sorry, Cook, Brees, or London? So I would go with Brees Hall. What's the scoring format here, Trent? Because if it's a full PPR, I would go with London. If it's a half or standard, I would go with Brees. So hopefully that helps you. As a University of Oregon alum, apologies for the beatdown a few weeks. No worries. I mean, I already accepted as optimistic as I could have potentially been. I couldn't have expected our quarterback situation to be this bad. Like, I expected it to be bad, but our quarterback play all year was this bad. And now we're in a situation where, yeah, you're going to lose to a team like Oregon when you're getting that type of passing output from your quarterback position. It's really that simple. With Ohio State, it's just more of a mental game than it is anything, to be honest. Like with Oregon, it's not like you guys are scared of years of history of us coming through. So, yeah. Big shout out. BTJ, Chubb, or Samuels need a wide receiver 2 and a flex. I'd go with BTJ for sure, and I would go with Chubb over Debo, assuming that's Debo. Javonte or Pollard. I would go with Pollard CB. Taysom or Devontae Adams, and Kyler or Stroud. I would go with Devontae Adams and Kyler, but those are both very close calls. Thanks for the confirmation. Anytime. Flex 2 full PPR. Najee, Jennings, and Thielen. I would go with Najee and Jennings here, Kenny. Harbaugh was once 0-4 versus Ohio State. It's a great rivalry, though. I remember when they played as number 1 and 2 in 06. Yeah, so for me, like that, the era I knew was the 2010, 2020 era. So as you can imagine, I witnessed some shit, man. I witnessed every year, no matter how promising the year was, just not being able to get over the Ohio State hurdle. And It affected me literally throughout my high school years, through my late elementary school years, man. Like, it was tough. And I can imagine what these new age of Buckeye fans are feeling. But at the same time, fuck them. Fuck them. I had to deal with it straight up. I mean, I had to watch in 2016 the Michigan team that should have made the college football playoff lose on a bullshit spot on I can't even. JT Barrett was clearly short. JT Barrett was clearly short of the first down in overtime. They end up scoring the game-winning touchdown. I don't forget about shit like that. So when you got Ohio State fans crying and this and that, and they want to rip our flag off because we're trying to plant, buddy, if you don't want our flag planted in the middle of your field, show some more fight in the first 60 minutes. Are you showing more fight after the game than you did in the game? That's the thing I can't get over. I've lost with humility throughout the 2010s because now we're starting to kick your guys' asses. You can't accept it on your own end. I mean, that's a bad look for Ohio State. So it is what it is. I mean, you guys are now, you're not an Ohio State fan, but speaking to Ohio State in general, Ohio State is now officially Michigan's little brother. And trust me, those were not fun years when it was in the inverse. I'll tell you that. Pick 2 FPPR, Robinson, Jennings, Connor, and Higgins. I'd go with Connor and Higgins here. I'd go with Connor and Higgins. Taysom or Engram PPR. I would go with Taysom, but Engram is very appealing with T-Law back. Very appealing. Kyler or May. I would go with Kyler here, Mork. Mooney, Jennings, or MVS. Half PPR. Pick 1. I would go with Darnell Mooney here. Bobby, do you cause a root for the Chargers now with Harbs there? I mean, I've always enjoyed seeing the Chargers. Again, obviously, like I'm not rooting for any other NFL team per se, but there's always teams like if they're not playing your own team, you're happy that they're doing well. So for me, those teams are Buffalo because obviously they're very close to me. They're in the other conference. They have one of the best damn quarterbacks I've ever seen. I think when it's all said and done, Josh Allen can end up a top 10 quarterback of all time. I really do. I think he's got that level of talent. And if he stacks an MVP or 2, a Super Bowl or 2, he's very well got that trajectory. So Buffalo, I always like saying, well, of course, didn't enjoy it that much last year when I went to go watch them whoop on my Cowboys. That one actually stung. Wanted to hate them that day, but when they're not playing Dallas, I'm really a fan of what they're doing there. And I mean, the Chargers have been one of those teams for me. Even before Harbaugh, I've always been a big Justin Herbert guy. I've always thought he's been a top 5 talent at the quarterback position. And now having Harbaugh there really reaffirms it. So there's a couple teams in the NFL when they're not playing your own team, you wish them well. And those are 2 of those teams for me. Shouldn't complain about Njoku, but he dropped like 3 touchdown passes thanks to the freaking. Oh, no, dude, trust me. I have Njoku in so many spots. I know exactly where you're coming from, bro. Oh, fuck. Ugh. Wishing you luck in the Flock League this week. Already got a Michigan win. Now Chase Brown gonna. Let's hope, bro. Let's hope. We need another Chase Brown big time game. We're talking a 30 burger here. Let's give me a 30 burger. A-Rich or Trevor Lawrence dynasty long term. I think you got to go with Trevor Lawrence at this point, but A-Rich is rising back up in terms of his overall value, but Trevor Lawrence for me at this point is a lot more stable with the contract. Tony Pollard, Zay Flowers, or James Conner at flex half PPR. I would go with Zay Flowers. I really like that game environment, high team total this week, but these are all very similar plays, I would say. 6-point passing touchdown, pick 1, Allen, Stroud, and Bo Nose. I appreciate that. I can't sit Allen, but I do love me some Bo Nix, but I got to go with Allen there. Aaron Jones or CMC. I would go with CMC, but I do have them relatively close, kind of high in RB2 status. CMC, I just kind of need to see him play better to get him back into the top 5, top 8 area. Evan Ingram, Goddard are odd and in a tight end premium. And a tight end premium, I think you got to go with the volume that Evan Ingram represents with Trevor Lawrence back. Good morning. Good morning there, Mars. Good morning. Ramondre or Najee in a half PPR. I would slightly go Ramondre there, but they're very close. Looking back, who was the better late round pick? You guys were on Chase Brown or J.K. Dobbins. I mean, at this point, you got to go with Chase Brown because he's been better probably for the last half of the year and projects better moving forward. But I mean, ultimately, they're both great. I mean, I'm just happy that both of us were toting our guys this year and we're able to reap the benefits. If I showed you guys my underdog texture right now in terms of my ownership, you guys wouldn't believe me. Like, I am running so unbelievably hot right now. It's insane. Like, I think I'm advancing like 25% of my teams. My big dog's advancing. Like, we're feeling good. We're feeling good. So I'll quickly show you guys that as well, and then also sort on the site to see if there's any comments. So let me go to best ball. Let me go to 112 exposure, and I'll share this with you guys. So this is my exposure on Underdog. James Cook, JSN, Douglas, Dobbins, Collins, Tracy, Benson, and Odunze have kind of been the misses, but Hubbard's been very, very good. Tolbert for like a last round pick was been solid. Polk hasn't been great. Mitchell hasn't been great, but you got like Henry, Sutton, McConkey, Leggett, Dowdle, Marv's not great, but Gibbs. So overall, I really like how my portfolio ended up. Feeling good about that. But let me just stop sharing right now. Hubbard or Hall, I would go with Brees Hall here, but that's very close, Mars. Sounds like you're under the weather. Get well soon. Appreciate you there, Sharky. Appreciate you. Under the weather, more so under the weather with my lost voice because Michigan just had me in a chokehold all game. That's basically the best way to describe it, but appreciate you for the concern. Marv or Warren in the flex today. Give me Marvin Harrison Jr. I really like what we're hearing from Gannon's front for him. Worthy Franklin or mid-late for 1 and 4. I think you got to go with the first at this point, to be honest. I do think I really like what we've seen from Worthy as of late, but if you're telling me I can capitalize and sell for a 1 right now, I think you got to. Bucky or Walker PPR, give me Bucky Irving this week, GK. Wondering what your 2025 top 3 rookie running back rankings are. So there will be change going into the year. My top 3 in order were Ashton Genty as my clear-cut number 1. I had Omarion Hampton as my number 2, and I had, I believe it was either Ollie Gordon or Quinshon Judkins. It was one of those 2. They were at my 3. Looking now, again, I'll know once I watch all the tape, but based off what we've seen from the profiles, I think the consensus top 3 at this point for me would be, of course, Genty, tier of his own at 1, and then between Caleb Johnson and Warren Hampton at 2 and 3. That's the way I would describe it at this point, but you're going to obviously know more of that once I fully dive into those guys' tapes. Baker or Lamar, give me Lamar Jackson there. Give me Lamar. DK or Mooney, give me DK Metcalf there. D-Law. Hopefully we can see DeMarcus Lawrence come back for the Cowboys at this point. So, just if we're not going to tank for a draft pick, at least we can enjoy some good football. Rashad White or Trey McBride, I would go with I would go with Trey McBride. I think you've asked that before, but Murray or Stafford, thanks. Give me Kyler Murray here. MHA or BTJ, give me BTJ there, B-Mac. And what do we do with Waddle and Dynasty? I feel like I'm stuck with him. I mean, you can see if you can sell high after his next big game, but he's a tough one to call. I think at this point, he's one of the wide receivers that's lost the most value in the last calendar year. So it's unfortunate for Waddle. Let me refresh on the site. No more questions on the site. And like I said, we have about 13 more minutes left in the live stream for those of you that have your comments. So I'll try to see if I can answer all the comments in today's live stream, because obviously that's been something that we've had trouble with doing in the past. So Ramondre or Najee and a half PPR. Give me a Ramondre there, Will. That's another very common question that we've gotten on the stream. Very common. But yeah, either way, 221 of you in here. I know my voice is cooked, but if you have enjoyed, whether I'm giving you input because of what my answers have been, whether I've answered your comment directly, all I ask is some like tax. Some like tax. That's all I ask. Will Dissly or Mark Andrews full PPR. Give me Will Dissly there. I am a little bit concerned because he did deal with the groin injury, but love the game environment there for him. And it also helps that he's not splitting snaps with Isaiah Likely for me. But that, I believe, is my number 12 versus my number 14 this week. So they're close. Nick Stroud, Murray, Jameis need 2. You got to go with Nix and Murray here. I go Nix and Murray. Stroud's close, though. Stroud's close. You know what? Stroud is close. For reference, I believe this is my 7, 8, and 9. Let me see. I have Bo at 8, Kyler at 9, and Stroud at Kyler at 8, Bo at 9, Stroud at 10. My apologies. Hawkinson or Andrews, happy PPR. Give me Hawkinson there. I would agree. Waddle at this point, he has to be a hold because of it, because of his down market right now. Thank you. Appreciate your time and insight, sir. Anytime there, Mars. Anytime. Happy to help you out, brother. Happy to help you out. Mike Evans or Terry McLaurin. Give me Mike Evans there, Coleman. Give me Mike Evans. Big Mike. Big time Mike. Yo Smith isn't playing. Probably right. Forgot about that part. Not forgot about that part. I forgot about that part on the wide receiver rankings video. That's what I meant to say. It's so weird because Jesse Morse expected him to play, so it's concerning. But yeah. Sorry. Let me get to the comment. Vidal or Henry at the flex because Kamani Vidal is not guaranteed to get the touches over even Hassan Haskins. Hunter Henry's been too consistent of an option for me to not play here. So Average or Stafford. Give me Stafford this week. Danny Ladd is sexy. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, Ethan. I sent you a super chat on this night. Okay, perfect. All right, there we go. Erica, we got Ewaz in the chat here. So let me just share my screen here, get you guys covered. We do have a super message. Appreciate that. He says Pollard or Taysom in a half PPR. This is very close, to be honest. If I look at my rankings right now, I have Tony Pollard as my RB21 this week against Washington. I have Taysom Hill as my tight end 6. If you need a floor, I would go with Pollard. If you need a big time ceiling, I would go with Taysom Hill. That's how I would react. I think I would lean Pollard face value because he's probably guaranteed to get the touches. Got a solid matchup against Washington this week. But if you need a guy that hey, I am an underdog in this matchup, I need the guy that can score the biggest ceiling, then I would go with Taysom Hill. So appreciate you for the super message, and hopefully you're able to get that dub there, Eric. Hopefully you're able to get that dub. But we are caught up on the site. Again, I can do a little refresh just to see. Boom. And oh, yeah, we got another one from Mike here. Appreciate you, Mike. Appreciate you, Batman. Odds for me to win the FSE Listener League. I mean, I would definitely say myself, you, and Corey are the 3 favorites right now. For those of you that are curious, I'll share my screen for those of you that want to take a look at what's going on here. If I go to the FSE Listener League, we have myself at 8-4. We have, of course, Mountain Man Mike himself at 9-3, Corey at 9-3. So we're the top 3 records right now. And then we got a cluster of very, very close teams eyeing those playoff spots. 6-6 with Jim Rat, 6-6 with Shady. Shout out Shady, by the way. He was also in the stream earlier as well. Shout out Matt. We got Deeb in here, 6-6. We got Ginger Ale, aka AJ, in here. I'm sure he's still in the stream as well, 6-6. Wallface is at 6-6. He's number 8 in the standings. We got Brock at 5-7, who's also not out of it at the 9 seed. This is going to be a really entertaining league to follow moving forward. I do play AJ this week. We were able to see Achan, Tracy, Monra kind of a down week, but overall, we'll take that overall performance from the boys. And we have Mixon, we have Leggett, we have Nico Collins and CJ Stroud playing today. So hopefully we're able to get up to 9-4. But yes, sir. Odds for you to win though, in terms of what I would say. So I think you're guaranteed a playoff spot. So already that's going to be 1 out of 6. If we're looking at 1 out of 6, you're looking at roughly about a 16.7% win equity. With 16.7% win equity, that's not also factoring that you're probably going to get a bye week. So you're only going to have to win 2 games. So if we're looking at that, I would say probably between 25 to 30%, maybe 20 to 25%. That's probably, 20 to 25% feels reasonable, knowing that there is some variance in the playoffs. But I'd probably put me, you, and Corey all within that 20 to 30% range, I would say. All within that range. So appreciate you for submitting on the site there, Mountain Man. I almost called you Mike, and I almost called you Mountain Man, and I ended up calling you both. So there we go. Wilson or London? Give me London here. Austin, another very common question we've got in the stream. Marv or Gus Edwards PPR? Give me Marvin Harrison Jr. with the report of Gannon. Chase Brown, Aaron Jones. Give me Chase Brown there. Real deal. Smith out, flex Njoku or Vele. Give me Njoku here, Ty. Missing on Bowers has been such a pain. He was just had no 107 or 109. Dude is he looks good. Thanks, boss. You're getting sick too. I'm sick of Ohio State. That's why my voice is like this. All jokes aside, though, we're a little bit cooked from the game. Flex Ridley, Brian Thomas Jr., Devontae Hubbard, or JSN. Give me BTJ Hubbard and JSN here, Spatty. I'm getting risky and starting Taysom over McBride this week. Rams are bad against tight end and running back. I mean, I would go with McBride, but Taysom's got such a huge ceiling where if you want to start Taysom, I can't really get mad. He's my number 6. So I do really like Taysom this week too. Batman. Yeah, I am officially Batman at this point. I am Batman. Tua in a 3rd or JJ in a 4th. really a preference deal. If you're a rebuilding team, maybe you swing on the upside, the value accrual potential of a JJ McCarthy, and get off the risk of the head injury that Tua has. If you need production this year, obviously Tua is profiling into a top 10 to 15 level quarterback rest of the season. So really depends what you need, I would say. Bush's team is a monster. Yeah. The thing is, though, I mean, he's going to talk smack. He's going to say, I'm a tier of my own in this league. My team's way better than everybody. I'm telling you right now, this is how it's going to go down. I'm going to play him in either the semifinal or the championship game, and I'm going to beat him. And he's going to say after the game, God, my team was better all year. It's like, you can't beat me when the stakes count. Then I'm joking with him. He might be watching this right now. He knows I'm playing around with him. But for those of you that are in leagues with us, my record against him for whatever reason is just like, it feels like an 80% win rate, even on teams that I'm tanking. Like, I don't understand. And of course, the one that is documented in the Flock League, he actually does beat me. So that's funny. Would you grab Gus Bus over Dowdle Warren for a playoff push? His matchups worry me. I would rather Dowdle, but I would take Gus Bus over Warren. Disley or Leggett, full PPR, 1.5 premium. How we feel like DJ 80 Mitch today. So I would go with Disley with the 1.5 premium. And I like 80 Mitch as like a wide receiver 4 because I still think it's not guaranteed that he's going to get a full allotment of snaps. Gus is a trap. I don't disagree. I have him at 28 this week. PPR, QJ or Vele, Bills or Washington defense. I would go with Vele slightly. Oh, I don't know, though. That's a shootout environment. Vele if you need floor, QJ if you need ceiling, I would say here. Bills D versus Washington D. I think you go with Bills D with the weather and with Purdy banged up. Hall or Sutton. Give me Breece Hall here, Matt. Thanks again. Good luck today, gentlemen. Appreciate you, Mars. Appreciate you. PPR, Drake London or K9 at the flex. I would go with Drake London in a PPR league. I really like the game environment here personally. I don't disagree. Jets can tackle and actually do have K9 very high, but I love the game environment for that Chargers-Falcons game. Very high over-under. Both teams are pass funnel defenses. Drake London has, been a high 20% target share player. I would go with Drake London, but I think both are very strong plays this week. Any given Sunday, yes, sir. You know how it is, Mike. You know how it is. Thanks, Chiefs. Rest that voice to Canadian drink hot tea. Yes, sir. I've been making my fair share of teas. Kittle or Ertz, give me Kittle this week. Taylor or Gus, give me Jonathan Taylor. So let me quickly check again on the site. Does not look like we have any comments here. And yeah, there's about 3 minutes left. So I'll answer the next few minutes of comments. Going to rest my voice after. Going to enjoy some football, set my lineup. So Burrow or Daniels. I believe I have Daniels one spot higher. Let me take a look for you. I have Burrow at 6 and Daniels at 5. So I'd go Daniels by a hair. I don't know why I did that. Oh, man. My voice is so cooked. Good luck on your week, Danny. Appreciate you, boss. Anytime there, Daniel. Anytime. Would you start BTJ, JSN, or Stevenson this week? I would sit. You can only start one of them. Wow. I would go BTJ, but if you're worried about the status of T-Law, you can go JSN. They are ranked back-to-back for me. So if you're worried about the T-Law injury, you can go JSN, but I do have BTJ ranked higher. Mooney or Brian Thomas Jr. Give me Brian Thomas. Rank Kirk, Gino, or A-Rich here. Let me see how I have it ranked on the site. So I have Gino, the last of this group. I have Kirk right above him, I believe. Yeah. And then I have A-Rich, the highest of these guys. It's tough. I could see the Jets just give up. Hey, I don't blame you. I think that's a very real possibility there, Damien, for sure. Good luck this week in the Flock League. Love that show. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Higgins or BTJ, give me BTJ Ray. Spencer says, who should I start as my 2 running backs? Chase Brown, Breece Hall, or Aaron Jones? I'm sitting Aaron Jones of these 3. I'm sitting Aaron Jones, but I do like him this week. It's just those 2 are very strong plays. Oh. Chubb, Vele, Debo, pick one. I'd go Chubb here. I'd go Chubb with these options. Denver's a run funnel defense. They're stronger against the pass than they are against the run. Not the greatest game environment overall, but Chubb did get 20 touches last week. So No Devontae, Vele, or Amari full PPR. Get me. See, it's so tough with the what I would say here, because Vele also plays on Monday Night Football. What you could do is you can wait until the kickoff of the Sunday night game, kind of see how bad the weather is. If the weather looks like a complete downstorm, like a lot of snow, very gross, then you go with Vele. But if it looks like a sustainable game, no Kincaid on the field, I would go Murray in that spot. So because you're in a unique circumstance where both these guys play in the later slate night games, the Monday Night Football and the Sunday Night Football game, you can monitor that status. But solid weather in Buffalo, you go Amari. Bad weather in Buffalo, you go with Vele. Start to Higgins, Chase Brown, and Cook. What's the scoring here, Paul? Half PPR, you go with the two running backs. Full PPR, we go with Higgins and Chase Brown. Although it is kind of weird because they both play in the same offense, but that's how I would appropriate that. Thanks. Anytime there's Spencer later, lad. Time to dominate. Yes, sir. Appreciate it, bro. And PPR, yeah, if that's the case, Higgins and Chase Brown. But like I said, we will be ending at 12:50. Before I do, I will give you guys my underdog pick'ems for this week. For reference, let me take a look here. All right, here they are in my DMs with Spicy Hot. So let me open these up. First one, I mean, I'm just gonna share my screen. It's like I didn't get it in the background, but that's fine. First one here, Tank Dell, 21.5 longest reception. We're taking the higher. He's done this in 3 of the last 4 games since Diggs has gotten hurt. Jacksonville, very bad defense on the back end. The second easiest matchup for wide receivers. And I think he catches one on a big PA, deep shot. He's due for a big time play in this game. And like I said, he's gone higher than this in 3 of the last 4. Jamar Chase, 5 touchdowns in his last 2 games, 12 touchdowns in 11 games this year, 25-point implied Bengals offense. We like him to get overpaid yet again. And then Calvin Ridley, like I said, been on a tear, 25% seasonal target share, over 17 PPR points per game in his last 5. And I do really like the matchup for him against Washington this week. So those are the 3 picks. Taylor fade my picks today, promo code FSC. The link is in the description for this live stream. And then the other one I will share as well. So let me just get that one up on the screen for you guys. All right. So we got Bucky Irving higher than 60.5 rushing yards. Carolina is the single easiest matchup for opposing running backs. Like I was talking about earlier in the stream, Bucky Irving in his last 2 games, 25 carries, 161 rushing yards. He's been good. He's been efficient. He's got a great matchup. He's continually getting more work. So we're taking the higher on his rushing yards. Joe Mixon higher than 0.5 rushing plus receiving touchdowns. Like you guys can see in the top left, I did take a little bit of a value discount on this because usually you'll get 3 for 60. I'm at 3 for 47.40. I think Mixon's a lock this week. He has scored a touchdown in all but 2 games this year. The 2 games, the one game where he played 47% of the snaps against Chicago, the other game literally this past week against a very good Titans defense. So with Joe Mixon, I think as long as the implied total, like we see over with Houston and Jacksonville, is a very high. We know Jacksonville's very bad against the run as well. There's overall a very terrible defense, and Joe Mixon has high touchdown equity in this offense. So we'll take his higher. Finally, James Cook higher than 13.65 fantasy points. We're expecting bad weather. He has had a ton of touchdown equity, 11 touchdowns in 10 games in this offense, and we know he also gets receiving work. So with the elements at hand here, I really do like James Cook as well with his fantasy points. But either way, we'll get through these last couple comments, and then I will sign off. Nick, feel better, bro. Appreciate you, Nick. Start Debo or Addison. Give me Addison by a hair, Samuel. Ingram or Taysom PPR. Give me Taysom Hill by a hair. Higgins, Breece Hall, MHJ, Bucky, start 3. If you're starting 3, unfortunately, MHJ doesn't make that list for me, but it is close between him and Higgins, knowing the matchup with Joey Porter. Thanks, brother. Rest up, enjoy some football, get a nice cup of tea. Appreciate you, Paul, for that support. Means a lot, brother. Valdez Santling, Addison, Westbrook Akine, pick 1. I would go with Westbrook Akine here, but this is who do I have higher between him and Addison, actually? Westbrook Akine I have at 45. Addison I have at 42. So I actually would go with Addison, but that is very close. Mooney or Adams, give me Adams. Barkley or CMC, you're not sitting Barkley no matter what. It's really that simple. Bijan or Cup. PPR, you go with Cup. Half PPR, you go with Bijan Robinson. But either way, appreciate you guys for tuning in. 227 concurrent making it this far in the live stream. An hour in with me sounding like this. Truly means the world. Appreciate you guys for that continued support. Of course, if you have made it this far, I answered your question. You got some value. Make sure you leave a like on the stream. It does help us a lot. And of course, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We're near 60,000 subscribers. Would mean a lot to us if we can hit that plateau. So appreciate you guys for helping us on our journey, man. I mean, 4 years ago, we couldn't even imagine we would be where we currently are. So you guys make that happen. We love you guys. You know that. And I'm just glad I was able to answer every comment this week. But with that being said, peace out. Good luck in your matchups. Let's secure those playoff spots.